What do you think?
Whoa, very nice.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. What do you think?
Nice.
But wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. White.
Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's. Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Dean with Old English Outfitters, and today we're going to be talking about the new Holosun EPS and EPS Carry. So we have been waiting a very long time for these optics. I ordered these this time last year, and they just showed up a couple weeks ago. And we're not one of the larger YouTube channels that gets sent those things before they're commonly available. We got to wait until we get some in for stock and then get them to review. So we've been waiting a long time to get these optics in and review, and me personally, I've been wanting one for quite some time because I love the idea of an enclosed body optic. So they are both very comparable to the 507K. So we have the EPS and the EPS Carry. A few misconceptions. They are, of course, not the same size, which for some reason people thought the two differently named optics were the same optic. They are not. The EPS Carry is smaller and has a better size or housing size for the micro pistols. Like this is a P365X macro. So you can see it fits far better with the lines of this pistol, whereas the EPS here is mounted on a full-size M&P frame with an M&P compact slide, but a more full-framed gun. You can see it sits more along the lines of what an RMR or a 507C, 508T would sit. Those fuller-bodied handgun optics. Now, they do have the same footprint, so sadly enough, the full-size EPS is not an RMR footprint. I heard that rumor going around the gun community when these were first coming out and trickling into distribution. It is not. It is kind of its own deal. Both of these optics are. They're a variation of the Shield footprint, meaning they will fit kind of the 507K, the Shield RMSC. They actually have two different sets of holes for different lugs and recoil bosses within the optic. So it's an odd footprint, but it seems to work quite well. Most MOS systems and all of the microguns come equipped with a plate or are direct milled to take that footprint. So like this is a factory M&P core mounting plate. I was able to just pull this out of the pack that they give you with the optics ready slides and drop this right on there and screw it in with the M&P screws. And then of course the Carry, we just direct mounted to the X macro. And with the Carries, they do give you an adapter plate because the micro guns they have a lot of different sets of lugs for different manufacturers. So they do give you an adapter plate for that. Now, Tristan is going to roll in the specs for these two optics and some for comparable optics like the 507K. Feel free to pause the video and read these rather thoroughly. I'm not going to go into every number and every letter of these because I want to get into using them and what I think they're good for. The reason I was very excited about these is because they are top mount or top threaded enclosed optics. The only enclosed optics that were really worth anything up until now was the Holosun 509T and the Aimpoint Acro, and recently the Acro P2. Now, the Acro is out for me. Number one, because of cost, and number two, because it is just an absolute TV set. Like I get, it's an optic, and there's a reason that it's built like that, but I hate the look of it. I know that shouldn't matter, but it does a little bit, enough for me to not make me buy it, especially because there are other offerings on the market that are quite good. Like the Holosun 509, it really does look rather similar to a standard handgun optic. It has a little butt out in the back for your adjustment turrets. It's not overly large. I had one mounted on a Glock 17 during my law enforcement career that I carried around, and that thing was very nice. But at times, it's kind of irritating because I had to get that 17 direct milled for a 509, so that's done, and there's no cover plates for a 509 cut. Handgun manufacturers, they do not offer a 509T plate with the gun. So you're not going to find a 509 plate with an MOS or anything like that. Best you could hope for is Holosun does provide you an adapter plate to fit an RMR footprint, but that makes it too tall. So something like this that gets you all the benefits of an enclosed optic, we're going to talk about those benefits here in a second, but can just be dropped onto pretty much any multi-optic system on the market is awesome. I did not have to get this direct milled. I already had this M&P, and I just dropped it right on and it was ready to go. Now, why enclosed optics? Some people don't understand the point, or it seems overly complicated, or like you're just adding cost to something that already works. And that is true, okay? It is more complicated, but for a good reason. And it does cost more because you're paying for more stuff, right? So if you want to talk about actually deploying a handgun either in a duty holster or, for most people, far more common, a concealed carry rig. If you have carried a optic on your handgun for any amount of time that's an open emitter, like a 507K or any of the open emitter optics, you will notice that you get an ungodly amount of crap down into your optic body. And some of them are so narrow you can't get your finger in there to wipe it out. You can't use the corner of your shirt. You have to buy Q-tips in bulk just to clean that thing out every single day because there's going to be gunk in there. And it's rather irritating. Now, for concealed carry, because you do have a garment kind of protecting the optic, moisture, dirt, and debris are not as much of a concern, but all that fuzz, as stupid as it sounds, it can make your dot bloom quite a bit, and it can obscure the emitter if there's enough of it. So I really don't want anything getting in the way of my sight picture. For the same reason, carrying a red dot on a duty gun. Now, I'm aware a lot of LE and military carry RMRs on their pistols with little to no issue, and I understand that, but if I could have it less complicated, if I could have no chance of it fogging up, all right, if I could have no chance of rain getting down in there, snow, blood, mud, guts, anything, if anything gets on in a closed emitter optic, all you have to do is wipe the lenses off and you have a clean sight picture again. In addition to the far more common anti-fog, right? So these are purged, so same as the 509, same as the aim point accuracy. So they are not supposed to fog, no matter what. And I have had a handgun optic fog when I'm trying to use it shooting a competition, and it's just annoying. You got to try to wipe it off. It's really irritating. Either you just had it in a range bag or in your car. As soon as you pull it out, nothing but white. It's very irritating, and it does make the optic difficult to use. Shooting both eyes open, you can still get it done, but it doesn't mean it's pleasant. And if I can avoid that, I would love to, okay? The main concern for me is just protecting my sight picture. Because not only, if you do get stuff down into an open emitter, not only does it cover your red dot, and heaven forbid you get mud down in there, so there's no way for you to uncover the emitter, but it is also going to obscure your iron sight picture, because this is right in between the two, right? So there's no way you're going to be able to aim this pistol aside from just feeling it out, hoping you've shot the gun enough that you have the muscle memory to be semi-accurate up close, right? So enclosed emitters are far more reliable on a practical sense. In addition, they typically have much more durable optic bodies because they are physically larger, and they have more structural support at the back because they have to hold the secondary lens. Now, practical use in shooting these, you really can tell no difference. There is not a glare on the rear lens. The optic window size, the objective window size, is the same as all the other optics on the market, if not better than some. So they are perfectly usable. The same, there's no added distortion or anything like that. There's not really a downside other than the additional price. Now, for the base model, so this is an EPS carry, 2 MOA. It does not have multi-reticle. It does not have solar, but it does have shake awake. So it's just a shake awake dot, nothing else, none of the other bells and whistles. This thing is about $30 more than a 507K. That's not that much of an upgrade. If you're torn between the two, $30 more is practically nothing. I don't see any reason to not go with an enclosed emitter, especially all the added benefits it gets you without losing anything. You gain nothing but more durability and more usability out of the optic. One thing I have noticed, and I'm not sure if it's because these are a new product and they're being better quality controlled or watched more closely, but they seem to be of slightly higher quality than the other like 507Ks and 507Cs that we've seen. They don't have that painted on lettering. It's milled in logos. Previously, we had only seen that on the titanium body. These are aluminum body, so having the milled in logo I think just looks nicer and cleaner. In addition, the turret adjustment is far nicer, easier to turn. I've had some Holosuns that the turret adjustment is just difficult. It feels tight. These are very easy, and they have positive clicks that you can feel and hear. Durability wise, we only have about 100 rounds on this one. This is rather new. This is one of our coworkers' guns that he loaned us for the review. I have between 600 and 700. This is the slide for my carry gun. I have about between 600 and 700 on this gun, carrying it every day, bumping it into the counter at work, tossing it in and out of my car, in my backpack, getting rattled around. I don't see any marks on the finish whatsoever. Of course, the lens is not good, and it has maintained 0 the entire time. I've done malfunction drills, racking it off of the wood pillars out on the range. Like I said, I've bashed it around. I've given it quite a few whacks on accident, and there's no damage at all. It's still kicking good, and it's a very nice optic to use. Guys, so I am very happy to have these optics in store to sell. Also, I personally have been looking forward to them. It's very nice to see companies like this thinking about what we actually need and want and finding a way to do it. A top-mounted enclosed emitter was thought to, at one time, to be impossible due to battery placement and things like that. But these look good, they work excellent, and they do deliver. This is a top-mounted enclosed optic that delivers all the same functionality and battery life that we've become accustomed to. So they work very well. Very happy to see it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. In addition, we do have an Instagram at OE Outfitters. If you go over there, check it out. If you like what you see, please give us a follow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.